Pussy good, pussy born. Had to tuck the toilet while I'm fucking uniform. True religion dick, horse dick, the unicorn.
You'll see the extension by Copper into the face right there. Oof. So a blocking foul will remain for Skylar-Diggins Smith. However, there will be a technical free throw shot by Seattle because of the hostile act.
And look at that.
Worse for wear.
Smith, I knew she got popped in the.
Evans, quick drive, couldn't get the roll. More contact in the paint as Reese hits the deck again. And now they're going to review the last sequence.
That's going to be a little extra.
Yeah.
I think Alyssa Thomas is getting a little frustrated with Angel Reese and her intensity. And that time, she might have got flipped on her back.
Alyssa Thomas, who happens to be African-American, grabbed Angel Reese by the throat and threw her to the floor. Flagrant 2, ejected from the game. The reason why that doesn't spark as much conversation isn't just that Caitlin Clark is a bigger star than Alyssa Thomas. It's because it's a black-on-black incident.
Wow.
And you don't have that dynamic that people can comment on, yes, but also exaggerate and make the entire story sometimes.
And also,
that is really that is between the lines.
No one cared about the WNBA when women of a certain color were beating up and bruising each other, because it's been happening since the league's inception. We have this star, this person that people love. They want to protect her. So now the new fans and the new analysts and the new people have so much to say. Bob, thank you for saying that and acknowledging that, because you're a legend in this sport. And you are also gracious enough to say, look, I'm not an expert in the WNBA, but what I do know from the history and what I do know, this is why she is being treated this way, and why no one cares about
I've seen it in every sport.
I mean,
a newcomer is tested and to some extent resented.
I mean, what's wrong with players being aggressive to a certain degree,
but not the way Kennedy Carter was. That was a flagrant foul.
There's a process for that, and the game handles that by penalizing the player.
Sure.
Why does it have to be jealousy?
That's what I have asked this question. I'm sorry, I'm livid. My blood is boiling. I've been so angry about this topic all day, because it's so simple to make women versus women a conversation, but it's just so simple. There should be more layers to this sport. If you're really going to welcome yourself to the WNBA and cover it and talk about it, can we be more than just jealous? Can there be some real true competition? Can they just be athletes?
I know you're speaking generally, because I didn't.
That's not where you're coming from at all. He and I have had this conversation, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Why
I do.
I don't know. Why is it so simple?
I think it'd be foolish to say that resentment and jealousy are not part of the mix, because those are human emotions.
Sure.
But to elevate that above everything else and discard everything else in a complicated dynamic, that's the wrong way to go.
Correct.
Good morning, everybody. It's Van Silk taking this morning walk. Rock Bottom Sports. WNBA ballers. Okay. Last night, there was a couple of games on TV last night. Chicago Sky played the Liberty. Angel Reese got ejected with two back-to-back technicals late in the game. Hey, listen. They are now the 9th seed in the WNBA. The Sparks, number 10. Number 11 is the Fever. Number 12 is the Mystics. Now, watching the game last night, Angel Reese definitely got to get adjusted. Kennedy Carter went cold in the second half. I mean, they was down by 15 points in the first quarter, and they came back by halftime and was leading, I think, by 2 points. But Teresa Weatherspoon, I don't know. I'm not blaming Teresa Weatherspoon right now as a coach, but the rotations has got to be just a little bit better and get some of those mid-range games and the plays going on. But today's conversation is going to be about the black-on-black hard fouls in the WNBA. Because it was just not too long ago, Caitlin Clark got hip-checked, and a few other fouls, and everybody's crying, manslaughter. And I'm going to say this. And I ain't talking to Monica McNuff, and I ain't talking to Al Duckin and some of the girls who are familiar with the NBA play. I'm talking to all you males out here, all you men who got the microphones and the podium to push forward. And we got to watch this agenda on black hard fouls on players, because somebody's going to get hurt. After what Thomas from the Liberty did to Angel Reese, that was definitely a violent act, whether they want to call it a basketball play or not. Last night I'm watching the Storm play Mercury, and we know that Skylar-Diggins Smith played with the Mercury, and her and Taurasi had fallen out. Diggins took off last year because she was pregnant, had a baby. A lot of things going on that they locked her out the facility. She couldn't train, boom, 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 this and that. But it comes down to this. Whether it was a basketball play or not, that arm being extended last night against Diggins, for Cooper from the Mercury, some of this stuff gonna have to stop, seriously. Because we figure the black on black fouls, hard fouls, it's not gonna get talked about. Because that's not the agenda. But I'm just not trying to make this about race, but it is coming to be about that. And hence, I'm gonna find other footage of other things going on in the WNBA. And to mind you, the 3 games that were played last night were all sold out. And none of them were played in Miami. None of them were played in Indiana. Where all this garbage is coming from on the streets. None of them were played in Indiana. That's me being sarcastic. Yeah. But listen, the Storm beat Mercury last night, led by Skylar-Diggins. I think she had 17 points. But here, we got to pay attention to what's going on. I want everybody to really pay attention to what's going on, and you'll understand that there's a lot of people that don't have a clue about the WNBA. Monica McNuff was totally right in how she approached StephenASmith, because there's been many years of y'all having platforms to talk about the WNBA. Don't talk about it now because your bosses want y'all to talk about it. Okay? Good morning. They have certain agendas in their morning meetings before show goes on, what we're going to talk about in topics. And they're going to talk about hot topics. But here's the problem. If your team is not going to be in the playoff, you're not a topic. Okay? If they're going to try to get you on the Olympic team, it's an agenda. It's about money. But that's another topic to be talked about. I want to talk about the black on black assault on these players against each other. Because that foul last night against Smith, if that was Caitlin Clark or Kate Martin or any one of these other players of another color, you just see the Pat McVees and the Colin Colhart and all of them today will be on there talking about it in a way of making it a racist conversation. Pretty soon it's going to be the black players assaulting the white players when hard fouls come. I just want y'all to watch. It's going to come. Because all these so-called sport analysts, as I go back and I looked on a couple of these guys' pages on YouTube, I went back as far as 2 years, and ain't none of them ever talked about the WNBA. Now all of a sudden, because y'all getting paid to talk about certain things, and we know you're getting money, yeah, you're getting paid to talk about certain things. Right now, I only trust Al Duncan and Monica McNuff and a few of the other players that are sitting on the dais, sitting on the board, because you guys out here, y'all got a bad agenda. StephenASmith, you need to pick up the topic, and Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco on the black on black crime on females in WNBA. How come it's not getting the outcry? All right? Y'all check out some of the footage here. This your brother Van Silk. WNBA Ballers. Rock Bottom Sports. I'm out.
You'll see the extension by Copper into the face right there.
Oof.
So a blocking foul will remain for Skylar-Diggins Smith. However, there will be a technical free throw shot by Seattle because of the hostile act.
And look at that.
Worse for wear.
Skylar-Diggins Smith. I knew she got popped in the
Evans, quick drive, couldn't get the roll. More contact in the paint as Reese hits the deck again. And now they're going to review the last sequence.
That's going to be a little extra.
Yeah.
I think Alyssa Thomas was getting a little frustrated with Angel Reese and her intensity. And that time, she might have got flipped on her back.